Okay, we're live, and I am with Ell Graniel, a good friend of mine. We've known each other for years, and I ran into her in Mexico. What was it, last month? We were on a cruise, and we stopped in her town, and we got
Yep.
to meet for like a late breakfast. And for me, all I wanted was a Mexican Coke because they're so great down there. But
They
it
are.
was just so great to see her in person, and she's telling me what she's doing and stuff. And then I got back, and she reached back to me, and she wanted to give me a complimentary uh, session.
Hmm.
I'll tell you more about what that is. But is it, what kind of a session do we call it?
It's, I know it's new. It's a new term to most people. Transformational meditation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, and she's just got this effect about her that just makes you feel so comfortable and in good hands and very
Yeah.
trusting, so that you feel like you could say anything and you will be well taken care of. So that's what I love about her. So this is my friend Elle Grinnell. Hi, Elle. So glad to see
Hi.
you.
Hi. Happy to be spending time with you again.
Yeah. And also too, I just wanted to share. So I'm a graphic designer. I specialize in high-end presentation slide design. And we met in a mastermind. And she called me one night. She said, "Bridget, I need your help. I need you to fix my slides. I've got a really big talk tomorrow morning, and it's so important. Can you please help me?" And I'm like, "Sure, sure. Send me your PowerPoint." She says, "It's not in PowerPoint." I said, "Well, how'd you make them?" And she says, "It's in Canva." I'm like, not Canva. I mean, I love Canva. I think Canva is great for most people, but for me, it's so painful because PowerPoint, I work so much faster in PowerPoint. I've been working with it since its inception, like 30 plus years. And, it has way more animations and things like that. So I just like, okay, I'll do it. I'll learn Canva for you. And I had to get it to her that night so she could practice with it because she was going on early, early in the morning. I think like 6 a.m. or something.
Hmm.
And so I did it and I gave it to her. And I actually talk about it now when I give my webinar, talking about great slide design and what makes it really high level to connect with your audience. And I show the before and afters. And, she saw a huge difference. And I don't know, just before we go into more of what you do, what was it like when you had those new slides and you presented with them?
It's fascinating because that kind of thing's not in my wheelhouse, right? But there's one of those situations where I just kind of fell quickly into the speaking opportunity. And so I did what I could, and then my brain's going, what about Bridget? So I actually wasted time by trying to do it first and not reaching out to you. And so I knew what I sent wasn't what I wanted. And then when you sent them back, I had no corrections, not just because of the timeline. Say if we had had a week, I still wouldn't have changed anything. The biggest thing that stood out to me was I love how color influences people, color and music. And the color, so you picked up my hex codes in my branding really well and fed those through as well. And that's something that I know that a lot of people don't realize, like non-consciously helps
Hmm.
people trust you and understand you a little bit better, that connection, right?
Hmm.
And so I was very happy with them.
Well, and two, I mean, you had some text on there, and I took off most of the text. I had a little bit of text here and there, but the
Mhm.
benefit of that is, even if you have no text on a sign, is this just an image that you're going to speak to? You can say practically anything because you don't
Yeah.
have to say the words that are on the text, right? So I think that is what most
Mhm.
people, fail to understand how powerful those images are when you're speaking to them, and how they resonate emotionally, that it pull them closer together to what you're talking about. So anyway, that was fun. I was glad to do it. So tell me about your uh you'll have to say it.
Oh, the transformational meditation work.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Tell me, I mean, because I love it. I just couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, no, I understand because I was saying before the brain does closure, and I've worked with people for a while now that still call it transcendental meditation because the brain likes to make sense of things.
Mhm.
And this is nothing like that at all whatsoever, right? So they don't confuse the two. It's just it's easier for the brain to say what it knows. And so you're actually doing good by having me say transformational meditation. That way you're not getting it stuck incorrectly, right? You're hearing
Mm,
it correctly each time.
yeah.
So good job. But I got certified in this process over 30 years ago.
Mm.
And I didn't know that this was my life's purpose and where I was going to be headed. I was a group fitness instructor at the time, full on headband and leg warmer kind of gal, and loved it so much. The immediate effects from coming from a childhood with domestic violence and abuse and poverty and all of that, to be able to realize that I was in control. I had the power through my connection, that I'm not just a physical meat sack here. I'm actually part of, a greater power entity, be it God, universe, Gaia. It's all correct because it all speaks to us in a way that we hear. So I help people facilitate those conversations in a way where we put the ego in the back seat so that the true message can come through. And that's part of my training, is to understand, because very often the ego will try to pretend like it's God or the universe speaking to you. And, it's not. And I know it's not. It's a feeling I've been trained in. It's a tonality, and it's 100% NLP wording that lets me know that. So then I can facilitate the ego to the back seat so that we can get back to the message at hand.
Yeah, and not understanding the whole all those workings, like, it's like I can load a dishwasher and turn it on, and it's like I'm not going to know how it cleans dishes, but I open it when it's done, it's clean. She basically cleans out the muck in my brain to operate better and on a higher level of decision making and choices and happiness and really what is my sole purpose? And really, to
Mhm.
me, every day I breathe and do work and meet with people is all about the love, the exchange of love, and what I love to talk about is how I love the work that I do and how blessed I am to feel that I get to get paid to do the work that I love. And I believe everyone has something they love, choose it and get paid for it.
Yes, yes. And there's a little bit of value I feel right here talking about AI, because you told me something that I really liked. So I want to start by saying, so for me, AI can never do what I do.
Mm,
It will never, I don't think, in my lifetime, be able to distinguish the difference between the true voice and the ego,
mm.
because that's something that can't be trained into a non feeling entity, right? Because there's so much emotion that comes with this process. And I was asking you about AI and you for making slides and stuff. And I loved what you said. Well, would you just repeat it? Because I won't do it justice.
Well, she says, well, why can't people just do their slides in AI? And I says they can. The problem is it's not going to strategize for them. It's just going to re-output the stuff that's always been done. So lots of text on the page, some silly graphics that are look AI, which is not good because anytime we distinguish AI nowadays and we say, oh, that's AI, we already have a judgment about them in a negative way,
Mhm.
right?
We
So
discredit.
I love
Mhm.
AI and I get lots of value out of it, but how do you create great slides that don't look like AI? That's what I'm about. So we emotionally connect more with
Mhm.
realistic pictures, not cartoons, but photos of people, expressions, emotions. And when you have that and you can dial that in, immediately you can get an emotion in a slide. And when their emotion is heightened, they're more likely to buy what you're selling or, buy into what you're believing. And, in a sales deck or a pitch deck, we need that big time.
Agreed. So much. Like I have YouTube regular with commercials on because it's helping me with Spanish. So the commercials are in Spanish. And when the AI commercials come on, all of a sudden my whole body goes, the way it looks and the way it sounds. So our brain still knows this is not real, something like that. I don't know what it is. So we're still in that zone of keeping our humanity. And I love that because that's what I help people do, is find the humanity within them. And how does that look like in the real physical world?
Well, right. I mean, think back when we were little kids and we'd watch those, Robbie Robot, Lost in Space and all those other things. I mean, it was a fantasy reality, but still, it was kind of like this could be real. And now we're in the day and age where, all these fantastic movies are made and
Mhm.
sci-fi and stuff like that, and it's getting even deeper. And now I've got on this side track of listening to all these movies they or documentaries they have on ET, and extraterrestrials, and how they've released a lot of these reports, and I'm just like, huh, really? But I know
Yep.
some people have actually had experiences with that, so it's not like I'm not a believer, but if it
Right.
happened to you yourself, are you a true believer or are you open-minded? So for me, I'm open-minded. I think
Yes.
anything can happen. And just stay hopeful and stay, on the positive end of it.
Yeah, staying open-minded. And one of my favorite things to share with myself regularly, I remind myself and anybody that I spend time with is stay curious.
Mm,
What does
I
that
love
mean? What can that mean? What's behind that? That almost childlike curiosity where you don't give up so easy. You don't
that.
give up with the because I told you so. The questions keep coming. And there's just such great value in that.
I know. I remember my dad went to my fifth grade teachers' night, where the parents got to meet the teachers.
Mhm.
And we were driving home and he said, I hate your teacher. And I was like, why are you saying that? No, it was my sixth grade teacher. Sorry. And I remember I got a thing on my report card that says she asked too many questions. I'm like, wait, what? I'm in school. Aren't I supposed to ask questions?
Thank you. Yes. And you're still that way. You're very open-minded,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good fun.
Let me
Yeah,
ask you a question with a question.
yeah, and by the sixth grade, that's already conditioned out of a lot of people.
Mm. Yeah, I was
Um,
pretty silent. I think it was third grade when I first started being silent. You know,
exactly.
your parents would say kids should be seen and not heard. And I'm like, really?
Yes. Yes. And that reminds me of like people will do what we're trained into doing. And so like if I'm trying to help somebody and their goal is weight loss, well, that's not how we approach it, but that's how it appears. And so it's like people are trained. So you'll go to the same, say you don't want to eat fast food anymore. You'll go to the same junky fast food chain because it's consistently horrible. But you won't try something new because, what if I don't like it? And then we'll go somewhere new and we'll try it once and go, oh, I went there, hated it. But we'll continue to go down that lane of predictable junk because it's reliable. So that's what neuroplasticity is all about. Not only knowing, but then
Mm,
doing. So
hmm
the accountability of having somebody who can help you keep the doing happening.
hmm You had a
Yeah.
visitor.
Oh, we have a guest.
Yeah, so what I loved is you gave me a complimentary session. I was so grateful for what you did. It was very powerful for me. And I just wanted the people that hang around me know that you're offering that to them. So tell us more about that.
I do because the work that I do, and you can testify to this, it's experiential, meaning I can't explain it. It's not like I can show you something where you can see the results. After a while, yes, right? That's why I work with husbands and then the wives, right? Or a
Mm.
boss and then the other people in the office and such. And so we take the time through a meditation. And even if you can't meditate, I have 100%, I'm not exaggerating. I can help anybody meditate 100%, never failed one single person. So there's that
Wow.
challenge. Take me up on that one. Because the busiest minds just meditate in a different way, and nobody's ever told you that's possible, right? So
Mm,
so staying curious. So I do it to help you experience things you've never experienced before, show you paths that were open at one point in time, but then became closed to you, reopening the ones that serve you, closing the ones that don't, and then figuring out what does that look like in daily action. So it's a combination of, I help the session is free, and then I help you with a plan, like what does this look like? And then you decide if you want to keep clearing the blocks and having me be your accountability partner. That's totally up to you. But I promise the session, as you said, makes a difference. And then there's the actions that follow. So I love what I do. It's exciting. It lights me up.
And most of the people that I work with are usually in corporate, or business owners. And
Mhm.
I also work with coaches and speakers. How do you help them? Like, in this different arenas, is it different or is it the same all around? How's that work?
It is the same all around because part of like a little motto of what I do is get the voices inside straight first, then everything you say will be in alignment with what you want.
Mm,
And so it doesn't matter if it's work or relationships or a good night's sleep or eating habits. It all starts with the processes in here, getting
hmm.
those tumblers click, 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 and then the other things outside of you start to click, click, click. And so it is the same process. It's just a matter of where do you want to start first? Do you want to start professionally or do you want to start personally?
Yeah. And what's the percent of people that want to start with one versus the other? Do you see a 50-50 or is it some mostly in one area?
That's such a great question. What happens is people come to me knowing what they want. I need this fixed. Don't want to do
Mm.
this anymore. This is terrorizing me. And then we do the meditation and we're totally somewhere else.
Oh no, that's so funny. So they have kind of like this racket in the front, but really in the back is what they really want to take care of.
Yes. And really, I would say it's not that they're wrong. It's just that we want to start at point A. We want to start at ground zero. We want to start at the beginning. And so people are very often looking over here where they are now. And
Mm,
so that's treating the symptoms, not the cause. So we want to
mm,
go where it all started and then start there and then go forward.
very cool.
Mhm.
Well, I look forward to our next session together. And I
Yay.
got to tell you, I did have some sessions with you in the past, but this last one's like, oh my God, this is something that I need weekly. I mean,
Yes.
and it's so valuable for what you provide, but the cost is so reasonable. I mean, it's insane what you charge. I'm not going to say out loud, but totally worth it, right? Because we wake up every day, okay, I gotta get this done, I gotta do that done. We lay our head down, we rest, and we go back. It's the same old rat race, but there are some things that are undermining our success. And when you
Mhm.
can meet with someone and get that straightened out, back on the straight and narrow for the week, and then have that, on a weekly basis, how
Yes.
beneficial is that?
Yes, I agree. And two things. Number one is when we do the work and we remove the blocks, then things just start falling in place. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. People offer to do things, or you find something, or because the blocks were cleared and you can see. And the other thing is, I always joke that when people say you need to scale your business, it makes me think of getting my teeth cleaned. Scaling makes me think of getting my teeth cleaned. It doesn't make me think of something that I want. And so it is true that I don't charge a lot. It is true that I'm not scaling my business. It's true that I'm living my purpose.
Mm,
And I'm not giving it. I mean, I give the session away for free because that's the only way you're going to understand how we're going to work together.
mhm.
That must happen. And then beyond that, it just works out. Just the right amount of people come at the right amount of time, stay for the right amount of time, refer the right amount of people. There's just really good flow. And so, like right now, this with you and I is bringing some flow that I'm totally open to.
Well, I love it because it's like, yeah, she really hooks you in, but it's not like a hook, line, and sinker thing. It's more like it's like a deep hug,
Oh, yay.
like
That's
we
how it feels
always,
to me
we all
too.
need. Yeah. So
Thank
how
you.
can they get a hold of you?
My website is my name, ellgranel.com. That's ELLGRANIEL. So they might be able to see it here, ellgranel.com. And then you can learn more about how I do, and then you can reach me there. You can find me anywhere. My name is unique, ellgranel.com. I have a YouTube channel. I'm Elle Granel at LinkedIn. I'm Elle Granel at Instagram, Facebook. So just put my name in wherever you like to be, and you're going to find me.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Well, it's so great to talk with you today, and I can't wait for our next session together. So thank you, Elle.
Wonderful. Thank you too, Bridget.
All right.